brother. What's up?
This is a groovy party, man.
Yeah,
I
brother.
can dig
Like,
it.
stop. Right on.
Hey, man, what's your name?
Hello, what's up, Texas A&M? My name is Eboni Johnson.
And I'm Sade Elizabeth.
And we are
Black Script.
And today's our introductory episode. We're focusing on Black History Month and some of the issues that are going on right now at Texas A&M with the tie to Black history. So take it away, Sade.
As you know, we are Black Script, and we just want to let you guys know what our purpose is and what our mission at Black Script is. We are here to highlight the often disenfranchised Black voice. We also talk about the issues including global, national, local, and we talk about those issues through a Black lens. And finally, we're not just here to talk about the problems, we're definitely here to talk about possible solutions as well. So that's who Black Script is.
And like I said before, this introductory episode is centered on the theme of Black History Month as February is wrapping up. And so we went out and asked a couple Aggies what they did for Black History Month. But first, Sade, what did you do for Black History Month?
For Black History Month, I did a few things. I actually went to a few of the events that were hosted by different organizations on campus. I went to the town hall that was hosted by BSAC earlier in the month. I also went to a few things that WBAC hosted as well. But one thing that I did miss that I wish that I got a chance to attend was the Black Aggie Symposium. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I really wish that I got to attend that. And that was hosted by BSAC as well. And yourself?
Thank you. I actually got to be a part of the panel for the Black Aggie Symposium. It was an awesome event put on by BSAC, and it brought to light a lot of issues that we don't discuss, and it was a great panel, great panels and great panelists, so I was really honored to be a part of that. And I also went to a couple WBAC events, NAACP, we had a week, and then just some various things like the Dear White People movie. So it was a good celebration this month. But we did ask some fellow Aggies a couple weeks ago how they were celebrating Black History Month and if they felt that Texas A&M was, supporting the Black community in their celebration of Black History Month. And this is what they had to say.
Normally this time of year, like in high school and like the area I'm from, like our school is involved and there's a lot of things going on to celebrate Black History Month. But now that I think about it here, it's just like another month. Like I haven't really seen anything like, broadcasting the Black History Month.
It's about the same for me. Like at home we would have this weekend, we had a festival, and I guess that's what I would do at home, but there's nothing here.
Okay, so do you ladies think Texas A&M is celebrating Black History Month enough?
Not at all.
No, not at all. Not anywhere.
Like nowhere near like how I feel it should be celebrated. It's not being celebrated at all.
History Month.
How am I celebrating Black History Month? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't really had any plans in mind. I usually just hang out with some of my friends. We went and played bowling last night. It was a lot of fun.
Do you think Texas A&M is celebrating Black History Month enough
Texas A&M as a whole?
as a university?
No. I definitely feel like the Black community obviously celebrates it more.
I do know that it's Black History Month, but how do you celebrate Black History Month is kind of the question. I know a lot of stuff that's going on, but there's no really actual events that that I'm aware of to actually celebrate Black History Month.
And then do you think Texas A&M is celebrating Black History Month enough?
I wouldn't say enough, but more of my statement is I wish that it would almost be recognized that African Americans did more than to have just a month dedicated to them. It shouldn't be just a month dedicated to African Americans. It should be celebrated all year.
How am I celebrating Black history?
Yeah, Black History Month.
Never really thought of it as something to celebrate, actually. But I was actually going to watch that thing, Dear White People.
Okay.
So that was what I was going to do.
All right. Do you think Texas A&M University is celebrating Black History Month enough?
They're trying, but we're a minority here, so yeah.
Pretty interesting.
It was, and I got some themes from their answers, like they knew nothing was going on campus, and they felt that A&M wasn't properly, celebrating or allow celebration of Black History Month for Black Aggies, which I agree with. But how do you feel?
For me, I think one thing that definitely stuck out, like you said, was a lot of them were unaware and just had a lack of knowledge of the things that were going on campus. And it's one thing for students in general not to know the things that are happening for Black History Month, but to have a majority of the people like we interviewed that were Black and African American say they were completely unaware of what was happening on campus for Black History Month. It's a huge surprise to me, just because it's essential for us as African Americans at a PWI to celebrate, those that have come before us that paved the way for us to even be here. And to not know of any programs or anything that was happening to celebrate that comes as a huge surprise. It's in my mind, it plays almost as a lack of unity. If we have people who are African American who don't know of the things that are being displayed or things that are being put on by the African American community, it's like, what's going on? Where's the cohesiveness? Where's the unity between those two parts?
Yeah. And when you're talking about that, it reminds me of the in-group, out-group dynamics on campus, and how us being more involved in more Black organizations on campus, we have an in-group perspective. And the people, interesting, we have a perspective of them more as an out-group, because to my knowledge, they're not as involved, and it seemed like they weren't as involved. So them saying there's no presence on campus, they know of no events going on, it shows, like what you're saying, the lack of awareness and how it perpetuates the lack of unity for us. And even at like 3.2% on campus, like less than, I think, 2,000 undergraduates, we can't unite as a community, and we have so much potential, but it's really sad.
Yeah, definitely. Even you mentioning the 3.2% out of almost 60,000 students.
Yeah.
It's a very small population, and a lot of people think that with small numbers you can't do big things, you can't do great things, and I definitely disagree with that. I think a big part of it is the fact that we're lacking a sense of unity, and it's not that we aren't unified now, it's just it's not as cohesive as it can be. And with it not being as cohesive as it can be, it leaves room for many things to not stand firmly. And even with that, we complain about Texas A&M not supporting the Black Aggie like they should, but it's like, if we as Black Aggies aren't completely united, aren't completely supporting one another, it's going to be very difficult for someone outside of the group to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to come stand with you guys, I'm going to come support you guys, if we aren't doing that ourselves.
Yeah.
In a completely honest fashion, if we aren't fully doing that ourselves. And even just this conversation of unity reminds me of a quote that Malcolm X said. He said that light creates understanding, understanding creates love, love creates patience, and patience creates unity. And we here at Black Script are definitely taking the initiative to create this light, bring light to these issues in hopes that we can, on this campus, have a more unified community, a more unified Black community. So I definitely think, that's a very important thing.
For sure. This episode, we have our student spotlight, Mr. Jerry Madison, to come in and talk about these issues. We asked him a couple questions about inclusiveness and Black History Month, and so this is his answers and words of wisdom. We have with us here tonight the student spotlight of the episode, Mr. Jerry Madison. Thank you for joining us, Jerry. Jerry is the president of the Pi Omicron chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha at Texas A&M University, and he was also on executive staff for SPSOC this past conference. So welcome, Jerry, to Black Script, episode 1.
Thank you.
We have a couple of questions for you about Black History Month. One, what does Black History Month mean to you, and how did you celebrate Black History Month?
Well, Black History Month really just means reflection for me, because there's so much that we have to be thankful for as a people. So it's a lot of reflection. And the way that I celebrated was just kind of telling people. So telling people about things that I've learned over the years about Black History Month and informing them of the things that are kind of, relevant to me as African American in our community. Because, there are a lot of things that are distracting people from Black History Month, like, the Grammys, the Oscars, and all these other things that are going on. Yeah. So definitely just telling people, what's going on so it can stay relevant.
So Black History Month is about legacy and leadership. What legacy of leadership do you hope to leave at Texas A&M?
Legacy of leadership month. I think I just want to do like small impact. It doesn't have to be something huge. I just want to be able to impact at least one person with something I've done. So a legacy of just being a servant leader, saying, he was a person that he wouldn't actually do anything that he would do himself. So, and just being able to serve the people who I'm leading, who are under me, just being able to do the same thing. So that's kind of the legacy that I would like to leave.
So we got a couple more questions for you, actually. Along the lines of leadership, we're just looking at leadership here at Texas A&M and the job that they've done in terms of inclusiveness. So we just wanted to get your opinion and see what you believe. Do you see complete inclusiveness in the Black community here on campus?
So are you talking about inclusiveness with each other, or as far as being implemented into the Texas A&M system? Or?
We're talking specifically about the Black community as a whole.
Well, I think they've done a better job, but I don't think it's like full-on inclusiveness with the Black community. Actually, I feel like it's gotten worse and gotten better since I've been here. So when I first got here, I feel like the Black community was a lot more inclusive than it is now, and it kind of has dropped off from a couple of classes. But I think stuff like this, stuff that you guys are doing, is definitely helping pick it back up, so everybody can get out of that, just that me mentality, and just continue to do for the entire Black community as a whole. Yeah. So I definitely think it's getting better, but it's nowhere where it needs to be.
Okay. Along with that, you kind of mentioned a little bit, just in comparison to previous years since you've been here. Can you elaborate on some things that you think could be incorporated to actually make inclusiveness, a lot better than it is, and if not, closer to the standard that it's been in the past?
Well, I think we just have to kind of educate one another and get other leaders to buy in. So start with the incoming freshmen that are coming in. So let them know how important it is, especially here at a PWI, to be included in the Black community. And we have to make them feel like they belong first and foremost before you can try and get them in and show them how important it is. So change the reasons why they join the student organizations, Black student organizations here. Not doing it just because it's a resume filler. You're doing it because I actually want to make an impact. So changing the mindset. So once you get into changing the mindset, you're developing leaders that come after you. Because one of my biggest fears for a while was what's going to be the state of leadership organizations here at Texas A&M in the Black community after I leave. Because I wasn't seeing as many leaders like you guys coming up behind me. So it's definitely reassuring once you start to see that.
We want to thank Jerry for being our first student spotlight and his wise words of advice. But we at Black Script have a few practicals to add on as well. So thank you.
Well, our first practical is in regards to social media. We here at Black Script definitely love social media. We think it's a great avenue to get the word out because it does get the word out to many people. But we just want to encourage the Black community to do a little bit more than social media. Let's go out there and hand out flyers. Let's go hold signs. I know that's a big one that a lot of organizations don't really use. But let's incorporate that into our marketing so that we can possibly bridge the gap between the, like we were saying earlier, the in-group, the out-group, the people that aren't super involved already in the Black community. And even with that face-to-face contact, a lot of times it helps get the word out even more, because it's oh, I know that person that's going, maybe now I'll go, or maybe now I'll join this committee. So that's definitely one of the practicals we want to leave with you guys.
Yeah, and I know from the people we interviewed, they were saying that even that they didn't even have social media. Like a lot of people don't have social media, so it's more important to have a physical body there to put a face to and say, okay, I can connect with this person. And that kind of ties in with the second practical. We have like be the helping hand. So be that person that can be a representative for others, those not involved, those involved, and just show them that this campus can be united and that we are here and that we're a present community and that we're a welcoming community. So take time. I know I have to work on this myself. Like, take your headphones, your earbuds out, say hi, shake hands, just say like, I'm with you, we're in the same boat, you know, we're here to support each other. So.
And then our final practical for today is actually, you know, here at Black Script, we were talking and we were just thinking how great it would be to have one big event, one event that unifies all the Black organizations on campus, whether it's hosted by these Black organizations or it's just to come together as these organizations and reach out to those other Black students on campus that aren't necessarily already in our organizations. We're talking about organizations ranging from the Aggie Black Men's Connection, Woodson's Black Awareness Committee, NAACP, the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club, the Black Students Alliance Council, African American Student Leadership, and even Southwestern Black Student Leadership Conference as well. And I know those names are a mouthful, but just to incorporate all the Black organizations on campus, because you never know. There might be someone I know that you don't know, or there might be someone that you know that I have never met before as well. So it would just definitely be a way to bridge the gap.
For sure. And we said how even having that event, we're going to get leaders to know each other, but pull people from the out group as well, and that's important. But right now, we're transitioning to our final segment called
Final Script.
And so we just want to leave a lasting note for the episode. So the theme was Black History Month, and Black History Month is a time to celebrate leaders and their legacies and what they've done for the Black community. And so we take time this month, which is not long enough to celebrate Black excellence, in my opinion. But we take this time and we look at leaders like Medgar Evers, W.B. Du Bois, Ida B. Wells, you know, so many who have impacted our lives in different ways. And we say they're great, they're excellent people, like how can I become a person like that? But at their core, it's important to realize that they're just individuals. And through their passion and through their awareness, they were able to get a followership and gain people's trust and create a sense of unity and community within the Black community. And it's, I think at A&M we have the same potential, like being young, people question us, question what we're doing, but we hold the power, and the leadership here is excellent. We have great leadership organizations, and it's like we at Black Script, we challenge everyone and challenge the leaders here to say that we can do better, and we must do better, and we can unify in such a greater way. So that's our final word for the day. And thank you for watching our introductory episode. And just follow us.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. We're at The Black Script. And before we actually close, we just want to pose this question to our viewers. We want you guys to tell us what you want to see on Black Script. This web series is really for you guys. We want to talk about the issues that you're facing. So please feel free to ask us questions or to tweet us questions that you want to be answered. Whatever it is, we're very open to just having your voice heard, as we said in the beginning. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you next time.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying.